Namaste, good morning, and welcome to TimesHealth Plus. I'm Dr. Sneha Rathi. I'm a musculoskeletal physiotherapist and a certified yoga teacher from the Yoga Institute, Santa Cruz, Mumbai. I combine the techniques of physiotherapy and yoga and give the best results to my patients through them. Today we are going to discuss about one of the most important joints of our body, okay? But the one which is kind of a little bit ignored whenever we are doing asanas. So we need to pay attention to these joints of our body, but they are one of the most important joints, and that is nothing but the elbows, wrists, and hand. Okay, so we are going to discuss about how to take care of the elbows, wrist, and hand. What kind of stretches, exercises, and asanas can you do to take care of your elbows, wrists, and hands? Before going to that part, let's discuss a little about what are the common conditions which are present in the elbows, wrists, and hands. So I'm sure you might have all heard about something called as the tennis elbow. Okay, so this is a very common condition where certain muscles, okay, of your arm are getting more strained or stressed due to overactivity. Okay, and that leads to quite a good amount of pain on the outer aspect of the elbow. Okay, so that is nothing but the tennis elbow, and the opposite to it is another set of muscles which are going to get strained or stressed due to overactivity, and that leads to pain on the inner side of the elbow and the forearm. That is nothing but golfer's elbow. Okay, so this kind of condition is nothing but an overuse situation, okay, where the muscles are put to overuse, so more than their capacity they are getting used. In these cases, it is very important to first subside the inflammation by taking adequate rest or giving adequate rest to the forearm, okay, and making sure that you're not doing the provocative movements and taking the appropriate treatment for the same. It is very, very important whenever you are suffering from tennis or golfer's elbow. Okay, some other conditions of the elbow and the forearm are, you must have found there's some tingling and numbness happening in the hand. So there is cubital tunnel syndrome, there is carpal tunnel syndrome, wherein the nerves start getting compressed in the elbow or the hand, and that leads to a lot of tingling and numbness. Okay, so these kind of conditions also require a lot of attention, because the cause of compression needs to be identified and it needs to be addressed correctly. So you definitely need a medical opinion for the same. You need to understand why these nerves are getting compressed and what we can do to decompress it. Okay, so that is very, very important, because in the long run such nerve related conditions can give rise to a lot of muscle weakness in the hands, okay, which is not good. So that is why such condition needs to be addressed immediately. Some other common conditions are strains and sprains of the wrist and hand. Okay, some of the ligaments may get strained or sprained. That can happen due to a sudden jerky activity or some kind of trauma to the wrist and hand. So in these cases also, it's very important to take rest in the initial phases, do icing in the initial phases, and get the appropriate kind of you need to wear some orthotic braces, etc. Get the appropriate kind of treatment for the ligament that is injured or the muscle that is injured. Okay, another very common condition which we see in a lot of desk job workers, especially because you are continuously using the keyboards and the mouse. Okay, so there is something called as decurvance, where some tendons of the thumb get inflamed. Okay, in such cases you need the supportive wear for the thumb. Okay, you need to give it adequate rest. You need to make sure that you're not continuously using the keyboard and the mouse. You are taking adequate breaks. Plus you need to make sure that you are ergonomically using ergonomically sound objects. Okay, so there are many ergonomically sound mouse and ergonomically good keyboards that are available, that you need to make sure that you're using these kind of stuffs to avoid such overuse conditions. Okay, and another one is fractures. Of course, they need medical treatment. Okay, so fractures need a proper orthopedic treatment and followed by a physiotherapy consultation. So these are some of the very common conditions of the wrist and hands. Today we are going to discuss about how we can take care of our wrist and hands. So I'm going to teach you some stretches and some strengthening exercises and asanas for the wrist and hands. And we are going to understand how we can use these asanas that we do regularly to pay specific attention on the wrist and hand. And if you're facing some difficulty with it, we are also going to look into what are the simple ways of stressing the wrist and hand, and how you can slowly make it more complex and more loading for the wrist and hand. Okay, so this is what we are going to go through today. All right, so let's get started with this, and I would like to request all of you to get onto your mats. Okay, and we are going to first start with conditioning practice as we always do. Okay, so let's get our legs together. Okay, now slowly look at one point in front of you. We are going to perform Sthit Prarthanasana. Keep your chin parallel to the ground, gaze fixed at a point. Now slowly join your palms in front of your chest and close your eyes. If you have any problem related to vertigo or imbalance, you can keep your eyes open. You can also keep some distance between your feet. If not, you can close your eyes. And now get all your attention towards your body and your breath. Slowly, you can relax and release your posture. Okay, now we will do some warm-up exercises. So keep 1 foot distance between your legs. And now start with the neck movements. So first take your neck up and down. 1, up and down. 2, up and down. 3, up and down. 4, up and down. 5, up and down. 6, up and down. 7. Okay, now we are going to turn our head towards either side. So 1 and center, and towards the other side, and center. 2, center, center, right. 3, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center. You might think, why am I doing neck movements when I am talking about wrist and hand? So there are many nerves which actually originate from the neck and they are supplied to the wrist and hand. So your neck movements can actually influence your wrist and hand. So many a times there is nerve compression in the neck which can affect your wrist and hand. So it is very, very important that you keep your neck mobile, okay, and strong, so that it does not create any stress or issues in the wrist and hand. So we are going to go for the next one with this, and that is dropping the head towards either sides. 1, 2, keep looking straight and dropping your head towards either side. 3, it is very important that you do not turn your head when you are dropping it. So it's ear to the shoulder. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now we're going to do some shoulder rotations. So your shoulder health is also related to your elbow, wrist, and hand health. So it's very important to keep your shoulder health also good enough so that the weight that is taken by hand and the elbow is also shared by the shoulder. Okay, so let's go on to the shoulder movements. We are going to do shoulder circles. So just keep your hands on your shoulders and turn it around. 2, 3. Try to make bigger circles as much as possible. 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll go other way around, back to front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so this was shoulder movements. Now we're going to go for wrist rotation. So keep your hands in front. Make a fist and slowly rotate your wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to twist our body. So keep a little more distance between your feet. Hold your hands in front of you, interlock, and slowly turn it towards either sides. 1, another side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and relax. You can roll your shoulders if they have become a little sore. Now we're going to go for hip movements. So we're going to raise the hip one by one. Okay, so keep your hands, elbows flexed, and try to raise your hip one by one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now we are going to rotate our ankles. So keep your hands on your waist, and you can take support of the wall if required, and slowly rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so this was a general warm-up for the body. Now we're going to start with specifically asanas, Sahaj Bhav asanas for the elbows, wrists, and hands. Before going forward, I would like to answer a few questions if there are any. Good morning, Mona ji. Good morning, Ramanev ji. Good morning, Vandana ji. Okay, when I lift weights sometime rarely for houseworks, I feel pain. Why this is, how to reduce it. So if you are lifting weights rarely, okay, sometimes what happens if there is not adequate strength in the arm, that can lead to pain in certain areas of the body. It could be the wrist, it could be the elbow, or it could be the shoulder. So you need to make sure that you start exercising on a regular basis and you start strengthening all the joints of the arm and the hand. Okay, that can slowly reduce the pain while lifting any kind of heavy weight. Okay, which you do rarely. Okay, All right. And good day, Amarnath ji. All right. So we are going to do some wrist and hand exercises now. So keep 1 foot distance. We are going to start with a stretch in one of the wrists and hand. Okay. So we are going to take the hand to the shoulder level. And now with the help of the other hand, we are going to slowly stretch the wrist down and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly take it up and relax. Same thing on the other side. Hold, stretch it down, stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly relax and release. Once again, the other hand, stretch it down. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax and release. The other side, stretch. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax and release. Again, stretch. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax and release. Stretch. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Okay, once again. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And the other side. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Once again, stretch. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And the other side. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Okay, so this is a good stretch for the front of the forearms. Okay, I have seen many a times the people who do a lot of gymming and otherwise also, they tend to have a posture like this with the elbows flexed. Okay, so their elbows are not straight, they tend to have this kind of posture. This can produce a lot of strain on the shoulders, on the neck, as well as the elbows. Okay, so it's very important that if you have this kind of posture, you need to first attain a neutral position of the arms and the hands. So you cannot have a flexed elbow position for a very long period of time. You need to have a neutral arm position whenever you are standing. That is the first step to identifying if something is going wrong or right. Okay, so it's very, very important that whenever you are working out, you are keeping an adequate balance between the biceps and the triceps, and you're not gaining this kind of posture. All right, so that's very, very important. So this was the first stretch. Next, let's go on to another stretch for the wrist and hand, and that's for the posterior part or the back part of the forearm. And that's, we are going to keep our hand again forward and slowly stretch down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. And the other side, stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Again, stretch. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Okay, so this was some general stretch for the wrist and hand. Next, we are going to go for the stretch for the elbow. Okay, so what we are going to do in this is, we are going to slowly take our elbow up and we are going to stretch the triceps. So raise your hand up, bend your elbow. With the other hand, you can try and take your elbow a little behind and hold that position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should feel some stretch happening out here. Okay, and relax. Same thing on the other side. Stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Okay, in this kind of stretch, the commonest mistake that I have seen is people tend to do this and then they tend to take their neck forward and stretch like this. That's not the right way. You need to keep your neck straight. You need to bend your hand and slowly try to take the elbow behind and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Okay, same thing on the other side. Stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Again. Stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. On the other side. Stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Another commonly done mistake is the elbow remains like that and you tend to go and stretch it there only. You need to make sure that your elbow is closer to your ear and then you are trying to stretch. Okay, stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. And on the other side again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. So right now if you see my elbow is pointing straight up towards the ceiling, it's not like this or it's not like this, but straight up towards the ceiling and then I'm stretching. Okay, one last time. Stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And the other side. Stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. So this is a good stretch for the triceps. Now we are going to do some stretches for the wrist as well as the elbow. So one simple stretch is doing the Namaskar Mudra. So just simply taking your hands, palms together and joining them. Okay. Stay there with this position itself. This is a very good position to put the wrist into extension. So this you can practice on a regular basis. Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly relax. Okay, once again. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Again. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. To increase the stretch, you can slowly push your arms down. Okay, but without losing the contact between the hands. Okay, so you're not supposed to, separate this. Supposed to be there and slowly take the palms down as much as you can go and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back to normal and relax. Once again, join, go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back and relax. Now we'll do the same thing, but on the sides. So join the palms and take it towards the one side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center. And the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center and relax. You may not know, but you are unknowingly with these exercises, you're creating a lot of nerve mobility that's going to help a lot if there is any kind of numbness or tingling. Okay, so nerve mobility can be restored. We'll do this again. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center towards the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center and relax. Once again, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center, left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center and relax. Mind you, I'm not separating my palms at all. Okay, once again, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center, left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center and relax. One last time. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center. Left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center. All right, now we are going to take the hands up. So we join the palms together and slowly raise our hands up. Okay, and if you can see, I'm joining my hands up and stretching up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take it down. Once again, take your hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. So I have seen many a times, many people have this, that they are not able to straighten the arms completely and the elbows remain bent. That's absolutely okay, but you need to keep trying to push your hands up towards the ceiling as much as possible. Okay, and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and center. All right, we'll do it again. Stretch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. रिलैक्स. एल्बोज को सीधा करने की ज़रूरत है, तो इसीलिए अपने हाथों को सीलिंग की तरफ जितना पुश कर सकेंगे उतना पुश करने की कोशिश करेंगे. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and relax. Now I'm going to take my hands up and drop them behind. Okay, so again, taking it up and dropping it behind like this without pushing the head forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and slowly down. Okay, once again, take your hands up, drop them behind, stay there. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and relax. Okay, once again, join your hands up, drop behind. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and relax. Again, drop behind. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and relax. One more time. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and relax. Okay, so this was another stretch. Now we are going to do Paschim Namaste. So we are going to join our hands from behind. Try to do this as much as possible. Okay, so you're going to take your hands behind and join in Namaste position. Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Once again, join and 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Once again, join. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. 2 more times. Join. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. One last time. Join. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Okay, so this was Paschim Namaste. Next, we are going to go for Garudasana arms. Okay, so how we do Garudasana with the legs, the same way we are going to do it with the arms. So what we are going to do is we are going to stretch our arms out and slowly interlock and twist the arms into Garudasana like this. Okay, so we interlock and turn the forearm and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly release and take it down. So it's like a good stretch for the shoulders, for the forearms, for the elbows. Okay, so it's a very good stretch. Now we change the arm position. So if we had taken the right hand below, now we take the left hand and interlock and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax and release. Once again, right hand below, left hand above, twist and turn and like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and relax and release. Once again, other hand, left hand below, right hand above, stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and relax. One last time, right hand below, left hand above, Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Now left hand below, right hand above. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax and release. So this was Garudasana arms. Now we are going to go with Gomukhasana arms. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to take the hand up, the other hand goes behind, and we try to hold both the hands together like this. Okay, and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. And same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. It's okay if you are not able to join the hands. You can always use a towel or a handkerchief and try to hold that at both the ends and slowly try to get there. Okay, so we'll do it again. Stretch your hand up, drop it behind, and stay there. Keep your neck absolutely straight. Do not forward bend it or poke it forward. Stay there. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax and repeat it on the other side. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Again. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And the other side. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Once again. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And the other side. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. One last time. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And the other side. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. I'm showing you many exercises for the wrist and the hand and the elbow. It's not necessary to do all of these exercises and asanas in one day at the same time. You can distribute these exercises on different days, that is 2 or 3 of them, and plan your schedule accordingly. It also includes the wrist and hand stretches. Okay. Next, we are going to go for, again, a Sahaj Bhavasana. So we are going to stretch our wrists forward together. So what we are going to do is we are going to interlock our hands like that and just stretch them forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we are going to turn it forward and down like this and stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get it back. Now stretch again, simply straight forward. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back and stretch it down. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Once again, stretch forward. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center. Stretch it down. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. Again, forward. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stretch it down. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back and 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Okay, so this was a stretch for the wrist and hand. Now we're going to go for another stretch, which is taking the wrist and hand behind, interlocking your hands, and slowly stretching it down. Now look up with your head and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Once again, stretch. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Again, stretch. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Stretch. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. stretch, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. So this was a downward stretch. Now we're going to take the arms into extension. So it's a backward stretch. So again, we are going to interlock our hands and stretch it back as much as possible. Okay, and look up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly down. Once again, stretch it backwards. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Stretch. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Stretch. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. And one more time. Stretch. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Okay, so these were some simple wrist and hand stretches. Now we are going to go for some hand exercises. Okay, and I'm going to show you some simple positions as well that is going to maintain the wrist and hand strength. One simple position is just keeping your arms by the side and maintaining a neutral wrist position. Okay, this itself can create a lot of strength at the wrist. Hold this position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly relax and release. In this kind of position, I have seen a lot of people, their wrists tend to fall like that. Okay, so this, if you can see this alignment, okay, their wrist tends to fall like that. Okay, that needs to be corrected, and you need to bring the wrist in neutral position. Then you are actually focusing on the wrist. Okay, so this should not happen, it should be neutral. Okay, so let's do it again. Take your hands down. Now up from the side and maintain neutral wrist. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Once again, up. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Up. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. And one more time, up. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Okay, now wrist and hand is so important. You can actually close your eyes and sense an object and identify what object it is. Okay, so it's so powerful in terms of sensation. We also need to make sure that it is strong enough to grasp the objects and to do things for a prolonged period of time. So there are some fisting positions which I'm going to show you. Okay, you can practice this on a regular basis. Okay, so what you have to do is, first is a neutral position of the hand. Now you go into a hook grasp like this. So you just flex your fingers and try to touch the fingertips on the upper part of the palm. Okay, so a hook grip like this. So 1. The next fist position is taking the hands into 90 degrees like this. Okay, so a tabletop position. 2. The third fist is just straight bending the hands and putting it into a straight fist position. And the fourth one is a complete fist position wherein you completely fist. Okay, so we are going to do this once again. Keep your hand neutral. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, once again, neutral. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One last time, neutral. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so these were the different types of fists. Repeat it on the other side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so simple wrist, different fist combinations that we are trying to make. It's good to practice them, especially this tabletop position. It's a very strong position, but here you need to make sure that your fingers are in a straight alignment and they are not flexing like that. Okay, so that's very, very important. Now we are going to press our fingertips together. So what we are going to do is bring the fingertips together and just press them against each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly release. Once again, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax and release. Once again, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Once again, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Last time. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. So this was some activations of the wrist and hand. Now we are going to go for looking into some safe modifications for weight bearing on the wrist and hand. So I'm sure you must be doing a lot of weight bearing asanas. I'm going to tell you some tips and techniques how to do them more efficiently. Okay, so now we are going to start with weight bearing against the wall. Okay, so I'm going to show you a wall push-up. You always start the weight bearing with a lower amount of load on your wrist and hand. So it's always safe to start with the wall. So आप दीवार पे पहले शुरू करेंगे तो उससे आपके हाथों पे जो लोड होता है वो कम आएगा, इसीलिए हमेशा स्टार्ट करिए दीवार से. ओके, फिर धीरे धीरे करके अपने हाथों पे आप वेट बढ़ा सकते हैं by changing your position. So let's go on to the wall push-up. So I'm going to go towards the wall. I'm going to keep about a one hand distance between the wall and my foot. Keep the wrist and hand on the wall. And now slowly you can lean towards the wall like that and push and come back. Okay, lean towards the wall, 2, push and come back. Okay, again lean, push, 3, lean, push, 4, lean, push, 5. Okay, so this is a simple wall push-up. Another thing that you can do is keep your legs together. You can simply keep your hands on the wall. And now it's a stretch. So we are going to bend forward to 90 degrees and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and slowly come up. Okay, we are going to repeat this again. Stretch. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up. Once again, stretch. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up. Okay, so this was another stretch that you can do against the wall. Now that we have gotten into some weight bearing on the wall, now you can go into weight bearing on your all fours. Okay, so you can sit down on the mat and slowly start weight bearing on your hands. Okay, so go into Vajrasana position. Now slowly you can just walk your hands forward. Okay, you can start first by shifting the weight on one hand and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And center and relax. So this is kind of trying to slowly weight bear on your hands, preparing your hands for weight bearing asanas. Instead of going directly into weight bearing asanas, it's very good to prepare yourself before that. Okay. Another very important thing is many people tend to weight bear just on this part of the wrist. Okay. So that's not good. You need to make sure that the weight bearing is distributed all along your hands up till the fingertips. So make sure you're pressing your fingertips on the ground when you are trying to weight bear. Okay, so we are going to do this again. Go on, and you can always spread your fingers on the mat. Okay, that's going to create a lot of weight distribution instead of keeping your fingers together. So in the initial phases, when you're practicing, starting to practice the asana, try to spread your fingers, press your fingertips and the heel of your hand, and now shift your weight towards one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shift it towards the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And center and relax. Okay, so this is just the beginning of starting to weight bear on the wrist and hand. Next, we are going to slowly offload one of the hand and see how our other hand is able to take the weight. So we are just going to lift one hand and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down. And on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down. Okay, it's very important you do not hyperextend your elbow and collapse into the arms. You have to make sure that you are alert and the elbow is softly held into a little micro amount of flexion. Okay, so now we're going to do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down. And on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down. And relax. So this was offloading by one arm. Now we can try to load it even more. Okay, so how we are going to do that? We're going to keep our wrist and hand like that, and we are going to lift the opposite hand and opposite leg together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, and on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Okay, so we have tried to load it gradually more and more. Now we are going to go for Adho Mukh Svanasana. Okay, so that's like getting the load, a lot of more load on the wrist and the hand. So let's get into that. Keep your hands at the shoulder level. Okay, now slowly straighten your legs and push your hands down and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And slowly release your knees and relax. Okay, we are going to repeat this once again. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax and release. Now we are going to go for a little more progressive weight bearing. If you're facing any difficulty in your wrist and hand, if you're having some pain, okay, while doing this, so you do not need to progress to the next level. But if you can do, please try to do what I'm going to do next. That is a transition from Adho Mukh Svanasana to Ashtanga Namaskar, that is there in Surya Namaskar, the 2 steps of Surya Namaskar. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we're going to slowly go into Adho Mukh Svanasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now lower the knees down. Slowly bend your elbows. Try to touch your chest and chin down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax. Okay, so this was a transition that you can practice to progressively load your elbow and your wrist. Okay, we are going to do this once again. Go into Adho Mukh Svanasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shift your weight forward, bend your knees, get your chest and chin to the ground. Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax and release. Okay, come back up once again. Okay, so this was a transition from Adho Mukh Svanasana to Ashtanga Namaskar. That is going to be Again, helpful. Another thing that you can do is practice the plank pose. It can be done in two ways, okay? So one is Falakasana, wherein you keep your hands like that, slowly straighten your legs and lift your knees up and weight bear on your hands and toes. Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax and release. Okay. Make sure the weight is well distributed along your hands. Okay. We are going to do it once again. Go there and straighten your hands and knees. Weight bear along your hands. Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax and release. Okay, so this is one way. Another way, if you have wrist pain and if your hands cannot bear so much weight, you can bend your elbows and go into a elbow plank. So you go down, bend your elbows, and slowly lift your knees up and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax and release. So you can always go into elbow plank if you are not able to do Falakasana. Okay, and gradually try to weight bear. Okay, another important one of the asanas wherein you change the hand position a little bit is Purvottanasana. So you sit with your legs straight. Keep your hands behind, fingers facing you, and slowly lift your hips up and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly relax and release. Okay, once again, stretch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax and release. One last time, stretch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax and release. So this was Purvottanasana. I'm sure by all of this that we have done, you might be feeling a little sore in the hands and the elbows and the shoulders because we have done a lot of weight bearing asanas that's going to strengthen the arms and the elbows. So we are going to do some normal simple stretches, okay, in the lying down position, okay, and then just relax our hands. So just go into the straight lying down position. We are going to start with Yastikasana. So keeping your hands and legs straight, slowly inhale and stretch your hands up and point your toes down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down. Again, inhaling, take your hands up and point your toes down. Breathe normal. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. Once again, inhale. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. And this was Yastikasana. Next, we are going to go for Setu Bandhasana, where we are going to bear a little bit of weight on our hands. Okay, so our hands are by the side, feet are bent and placed on the ground. And now inhaling, lift your hips up, press your hands slightly on the ground and stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down. Once again, inhale, stay there. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale and relax. Now you can turn on your abdomen and we will do one last asana, that is Bhujangasana. So
You keep your forehead down, legs together, heels together, hands by the side of your chest, and inhaling.
Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling, go down. Over here, the weight is not too much on my hands. It's only 20% of weight on my hands, and majority is coming from the back. Okay, but you can do a variation of Bhujangasana. There a lot of weight is on your hands, and that's like you have to go completely up. Okay, so inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and slowly exhaling down. We will repeat this once again. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. And slowly relax in Makarasana. So bend your elbows, keep your hands one on top of the other, turn your head to one side and lie down in Makarasana. Once you are relaxed, slowly you can turn on one side and get up. Okay, so you can practice Makarasana for a longer period of time. Okay, but these were some of the exercises and asanas that are going to help in strengthening, mobilizing your wrist and hand and elbow, and keeping its health to the optimum. Okay. Now, before going to the questions and answers, I would like to give you the task of the week, and that is practicing the Namaskar Mudra on a daily basis for about 1 minute. Okay, so make sure that you practice the Namaskar Mudra for 1 minute on a daily basis. Feel what you're feeling in your wrist and hands. Click a picture of you with the Namaskar Mudra. Tag Times Health Plus and post it on Instagram. Also, do follow Times Health Plus on Instagram and YouTube channels and get some more tips and recommendations. Okay, so this was it for today. Before ending the session, I would like to see if there are any questions. Okay, so Ramanev ji says, I get shifting pain in my right shoulder. What to do? So I need to know more about your pain, exactly what kind of shifting pain and how has that started. Okay, so a lot more details are required for me to be able to tell anything about it. All right. Venkat Rami ji says, I got a lower back pain. How to reduce? Okay, so again, we need to know a lot of more details about how did you get the lower back pain, what was the activity that caused the lower back pain, and what are the movements that are altering the pain. Okay, so any kind of pain needs a lot more history to be, to understand the root cause of it, and then can be addressed accordingly. Okay. I have shivering from my fingers of both the hands. Is it due to less muscle strength? What is the solution? Okay, so shivering can have a lot of causes. Simplest cause can be, even low glucose level in the body, and the most complex causes can be neurological as well. Okay, so we need to figure out, probably you can have an opinion with the doctor. Okay, we need to figure out what is the cause of that shivering, and then it can be addressed accordingly. Okay, muscle strength also causes, lack of muscle strength also causes shivering, but we need to first find out what is the root cause of your shivering, and only then can we address it. Okay, so it's important to get consulted with a doctor to find out why is this shivering happening. Okay, I'm experiencing numbness in my right hand and arm while driving or while sleeping or working. Please advise. Okay, sometimes, a constant static position of the hand, okay, in a particular position can lead to compression of nerves, and that can lead to numbness. Okay, so if you are sleeping on your hand, okay, so that compression can lead to numbness. But if the numbness is coming in even otherwise, when you are not in a compressed position of the hand, then that needs to be assessed properly by a medical person. Okay, so then only that can be addressed. All right. I feel numbness in the lower body. If I continuously sit and work for minimum 1.5 hours, how to overcome? Sometimes what happens is when you are continuously sitting in one position, that can lead to a compression of the nerves either in the lower back or in the glutes. Okay, so you need to make sure that every 45 minutes you are getting up and moving around. Okay, that's very, very important. You can also try stretches of elongation like Parvatasana. So you can stretch your hands up and try to elongate your body so as to offload the weight from the spine as well as the glutes. Okay, so these are some simple techniques that you can practice when you're sitting for a very long period of time. Also, make sure you're taking breaks, you are moving around, walking for a minute and coming back and sitting. That's very, very important. Okay, so yeah. My left side shoulder is okay. I do not understand that question. So I think I need some more details of what exactly is happening. All right, yeah, if you lift the body, you mentioned hands facing front, but is it okay to face the hands backwards as it's easier to lift the body? So Ashaji, I think you're talking about Purvottanasana. Okay, so hands facing behind is not a problem, but hands facing, fingers facing forward is like the ideal position. So even if you start by hands facing behind for lifting the body, you can slowly start working on the fingers facing forward and then lifting the body. You may lift the body a little less initially. Okay, gradually as you keep practicing, you will notice that your hands are gaining that strength and you are able to lift the body much better. Okay, yeah. My left side shoulder is having some pain. Will stretching remove it? So I need to know a lot more about the pain history. I cannot really tell you if stretching can remove the pain. I need to know why the pain has started, how is the pain, and what movements there is pain. So a lot more history is required for me to be able to tell you anything about, if stretching can really help removing that pain. Usually, I feel right side hip joint stiff when compared to left. Can you suggest specific exercise? So there has been a hip session done previously. You can refer to that video. There are a lot of hip stretches that are there in that, and I have also explained the technicalities of how you can keep the posture correct when you are stretching. So probably you can incorporate that and check, if that is, helping. The bone noise from the knee is normal or should something be done? So bone noise in the knee can happen due to degenerative knee conditions. It can be a simple click that can happen, that is a painless click. Okay, that happens sometimes because of tight muscles. Okay, we need to find out what is the cause of that sound, whether it is painful, whether it is painless, and then only it can be said whether it is harmless or it is going to be harmful. Okay, if it is degenerative, that means that there is an onset of osteoarthritis and you need to do something about it. If it is a simple click due to muscle tightness, probably some stretches and some strengthening can help address it. So we need to find out what is the cause. Bindu ji, I'm not able to lift up my body with ease. Why is that? So sometimes the strength in the hands is not so much. Okay, so you can always try some variations of the asana. So for example, in Purvottanasana, if you are not able to keep the legs straight and lift your body up, you can probably bend your knees a little bit and try to lift slightly up. Okay, you can start with a slight movement. Okay, first start with this kind of practice, gradually build over it over a period of time. Also incorporate some strengthening exercises for the wrist and hand. Okay, that's going to help in building the strength and help you get better at these poses. All right, I think that was it for today. Okay, we're going to see next time some more joints, some more tips and techniques in different forms of asanas. All right, till then, stay present, move gently, and make sure you take care of yourself. Thank you and namaste.